Hey everyone, this is MG Zeong, and this is going to be part 1 of my Master Grade Zeong review. In this part we'll be going over basic articulation and the accessories that this kit comes with. Okay, so before we get started, I'll just say that I've got the Master Grade Zeong on the base right here because it's a whole lot more convenient than having to hold it all the time, seeing as it doesn't have legs. And I'll get into all the details pertaining to the base later once I cover the accessories. The kit comes molded in several different colors, as you can see right here. The main color is this sort of purplish gray. We've got the arms, hands, and this bottom piece here, as well as the head and parts of the stomach area here molded in that color. Also the shoulders right here. Then we've also got a dark blue color, but only for the upper body and the shoulders. Also on the back here. And we get a very dark gray color here for this piece and also under the skirt armor. And most of the internal frame is also molded in this color. Some other colors that we get for fewer pieces is yellow, as you can see right here, and also these two pieces on the head. Then we get some red for these antennas and the upper parts of these thrusters on the head. And we get two light purple parts around these beam cannons. So apart from that, we also get two clear parts, one being the mono eye part and also this visor under the head there. Okay. My first impression of this kit is it's really big. I mean, someone who has built a perfect grade kit before probably won't be too impressed, but I don't really like perfect grades too much because none of them have really interested me, so this has been pretty much the biggest kit I have ever built, and I think it's very impressive, especially this skirt armor piece here, which is one piece. So it is very massive, and yeah, let's get into articulation. Starting off with the head. The head attaches to the body via sort of a peg. It's not a poly cap. And it can go 360 because there's nothing really in the way of it. And it can also pivot forwards and backwards on this joint here. And then there's another joint here in the torso that lets it go up and down and even a bit, side to side more. Also on the head, I'll just take it off here, we've got these two thrusters on the side, which can move forwards and backwards a bit. We've got the mono eye inside, which can come up and down, although it's a bit hard to move right now, and I accidentally just shoved it all the way over to the left. Yeah, it's a bit hard to do. Basically, it can come up and go back that far. Also, when the visor is on. It does come off very easily if you try to pose the head like this, so watch out for that. The shoulders can obviously rotate 360. The shoulder armor can move independently from the shoulders or arms themselves, which is very nice. Also, we've got some articulation in this area right here. You'll probably see that better once I take all the external armor parts off and showcase the internal frame. Obviously the arms can turn right here, and we've also got some minor articulation there. It's about a 90-degree bend, nothing much, but I guess this yellow armor gets in the way there. The arms, yeah, that pretty much does it for the arms. The hands, of course, are on a ball joint right there. Can rotate 360, standard movement. The fingers are very nice, but a pain to assemble. Each of these is individually posable. None of them are connected. They actually have an internal frame. The thumb is also very nicely posable. It's more like perfect grade articulation on the fingers here. I'll get into those later. So, looks kind of weird now. On the torso, the cockpit hatch can open, although it's kind of weird because the actual cockpit for this guy is in the head, and we've got a cockpit hatch in the back right here that also opens. although it's a bit harder to do. But for some reason this guy also has a cockpit in the chest. And in the anime, Char actually accessed the Zeong through this hatch, but in the end he was sitting in the head. Don't know how he did that, but whatever. These thrusters right here can come forwards and go backwards a little bit. We've got 2 on the front here and 2 on the back, like so. Not a whole lot of movement, but still nice to have. Then the entire upper body moves forwards, backwards, side to side, because there's a huge ball joint in here that connects the upper body to this big skirt armor piece. And that pretty much does it for the main articulation. I'm going to take the Zeong off the stand if I can and show you the articulation of these thrusters. As you can see, we've got 7 thrusters, 2 really big ones and 5 smaller ones in the back. The 2 front thrusters can actually come out a bit, just pulling them out like so, and then you can move them around a bit. They've got a little bit of motion, not a whole lot, but it's quite nice. The cool thing about these thrusters in the back is you can, they're attached to this bottom half of the plate down there, and you can pull the entire plate out and make it swivel around a bit. And of course all of these thrusters, which tend to come off from time to time, are on a ball joint and individually posable. So we've got quite a lot of articulation down here, which is nice. And I also like the attention to detail in here. The parts count for this kit is very high, especially because we've got a lot of parts in the arms and hands and also down here. So that pretty much does it for basic articulation. This part is falling out again. It connects to there via this peg, and then once it's in there you have to turn it around so that it doesn't fall out again. Obviously that doesn't always work too well, but okay. That's it for basic articulation. Now we're going to go over its accessories. The first accessory I'm going to show you is this huge base for the main Zeong that it comes with. We also get a small Char figure that I fixed to the base via Mr. Masking Neo solution, just for a nice presentation of the finished model. And this base is very big, and it actually allows for some different options in posing the kit. As you can see right here, we've got this light gray piece right here, which can come up and down. And what it actually does, you can move the stand that connects to the Zeong around like this, and so that it actually stays in place, we've got these grooves right here that this piece hooks into. So let's say you want the Zeong to come forward, you put the main connector into this position and then lock this gray piece in like so, and then, hold on, this piece can't move around anymore because this one's locked in place. And we've got, let's see, 5 different settings that we can lock this main connector into place with. So that's pretty nice actually, and let's see how that works. Usually there's another piece that goes over here, but I don't really see how you could use that, because the only way to really display this Zeong is on the base. There's no real action-based connector for this guy, so you'll have to use this base if you want to display him without the legs, because it's not perfect Zeong. So take that cover piece off, and then, hold on, we're just going to try to connect the base to the Zeong, hook it in there, slide it down, and that should work fine. And now we can set the connector and lock it in place so this one can't move anymore. And now we've got some options for displaying this guy. This is a very dramatic pose right here. So that's pretty much it for the main base. What we also get is these two stands for the hands, because if you don't know much about the Zeong, it can actually detach its hands, hold on, like so, and they come with this wire guided system because each of these hands has 5 beam cannons, 1 in each finger, and because it's equipped, the suit is equipped with the Psy-Commu system. These hands can be individually steered via these cables and used to annoy its enemies and shoot its beam cannons from all different directions. So we get these wires right here with the 2 connectors. One connects to the lower arm and the other one, well, to this lower arm with the hand on it. Locks in place like so on the stand, and we get this pivoting piece right here that allows us to display it like so. And I'm actually not going to do it on the other hand right now because that's a bit difficult. So that's pretty much all we get with this kit. It's a kit that doesn't come with any traditional weapons like a beam rifle or a laser sword. It pretty much has all its weapons fixed to the body. I'll go over those really quickly. It has a beam cannon coming from its mouth up here, 2 beam cannons right here in the side skirt, front skirt armor, and then on each hand it has 5 beam cannons. So we've got a total of, let's see, what's that, 13? Yeah, 13 beam cannons. That's a lot. That's pretty much as much weaponry as a battle cruiser would have. But because of that, we don't get any other accessories. So that pretty much does it for part 1 of the Master Grade Zeong review. Stay tuned for part 2, in which I'll be going over the internal frame and give you my final thoughts on this kit. And for now, I'll just leave you with a size comparison so you can see how big this guy really is compared to the Zaku 2 2.0. So yeah, take care.